So Brinda
Which is
has recently taken her IELTS test, and it was on
15th
November 15th, and it was online test, right? You took the online version of it.
online computer delivered
So
IELTS.
yeah, there are certain things which are very important related to test. Like 2 days before her test, there was an email about registration. But so what about that, Brinda? What was the issue regarding registration?
I thought that I had to generate some kind of password for login, but
Hmm.
that if you have any problems related to login and whatever that they can deal with at their office, then you should
Hmm.
not worry about it. Once you are registered, there's nothing to worry about. If
Hmm.
you're facing any issues, having any
Hmm.
doubts related to the test, just either call them up at uh, whichever place you're giving your exam from. Like for me, it was IDP. So
Hmm.
there, the timings at which you can contact them at was till 5, 9 to 5.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
I did everything in the last moment, that password issue it came up in the last moment, I could not even mail them few days back. So you make sure that
Hmm.
uh, all of these things are set aside uh, at
Hmm.
least a week before the actual exam.
Okay. 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 So that's one thing, and there's no need to worry overall. The things are
No,
more
no.
or less very set. Now, since you took the digital version, was there any challenge with regard to using the system? You knew how to
Yes.
use the
I mean,
interface.
starting from the listening test, obviously you cannot pause it. So you have to be very careful while the audio is being played out, because I think I could not answer one of the questions because I zoned out. So that was the only part that I missed in listening. Let's see what the result reflects. And
The
apart
interface
from
was
that,
easy to use. Using
yes, it
the
was
interface
very
was
easy.
easy.
Yes,
Okay.
but you should still try and see how, like, practice. Give at least 5 mock tests before
Hmm.
the actual exam, because then you will be very comfortable with how the system is going to be. And I
Did you
did
take
that
any
one
online
night
test
before.
before that? You did
No,
that.
I was not worried about the exam. I was only worried
Mhm.
about how I should familiarize myself with the system. That was my
Hmm.
only worry. So I went through the details given on IDP's site for IELTS,
Hmm.
and how
Okay.
they are going to have a timer, and in how much time I should complete my exam, whichever section
Hmm.
has to be done in how much time. And
Okay. Okay. So from
and
IDP site, you were able to see that interface which you would
yeah,
see
yeah.
in the
I mean,
real
it was
test.
not completely the same, but time, timer, and uh, being able to change the font,
Hmm.
uh, and your extra information that was given and how much time you need to, like the test instructions. All of those were same. Like it was similar, matlab, almost like 90% similar.
Okay. Okay.
It will just
Great.
make it easier. And I think the writing part, because I practiced my writing by writing on paper. I was worried about that. I did not complete my uh, task two of writing till at least 15 minutes were left. Uh, I did not complete the 250 words, but then I had to rush. So you don't need to relax. You first have to complete your the basic criteria, that is to finish
Hmm.
your 250 words. So that
Hmm.
should be done within 10 to 15 minutes, and then you can like add on to it.
Right. 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 Okay. So coming to reading now, were you able to highlight some words because people find it very easy to do it on a paper, and on computer highlighting words or something is not possible. So were you able to
No,
highlight in that interface?
that option was also available. You could highlight the way we use our laptop screens, and when we need to highlight something, we just uh,
Hmm.
press on that, and highlight. That option is
Okay.
also available. You can also make notes, but I think I personally think that that would be a waste of time. So I
Hmm.
did not do that. I just highlighted
Okay.
it while I was answering the questions. Like if I am on
Hmm.
question one and it is related to the first paragraph, I'll just
Yeah.
highlight the first paragraph so that I know which one I need to focus on.
Okay. Okay. Great. And you were able to finish reading within the time span? The level of difficulty was the
Yes,
same
yes,
as we practiced?
yes. I think plenty of time was there to finish it on time and to also revise all the
Okay.
three parts.
Were there any dicey questions on which you had to make some guesses, or they were more or less straightforward?
Um, you just need to pay attention to what the question is. If you go by the actual question that is given, that whether the author, I mean, I don't know what my result is going to say, but
Yeah. True.
if the question is asking you what is the opinion of the author on this, and then there are given like yes, no, true or false, and not given type of questions,
Mm.
that you need to focus on if the author is actually talking about it or not.
Mm-hmm.
That is how I did my yes, no,
Okay.
and not given section.
Okay. Okay. So otherwise, you were able to finish all the questions in time and you were confident about the answers. There wasn't any
Yes.
scope for guessing. The answers were
No.
straightforward. You were able to get what it is, although there might be some paraphrase of information. So you might have to kind of read between the lines and
Exactly.
critically analyze the keywords before you reach to the right answer. But otherwise, you were able to reach to the right answer pretty clearly.
The most important thing
Okay.
is to just be present.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not to worry about it and keep your mind outside the room.
Mm.
So, not thinking too much is important. Otherwise, जब सोच गहरी हो जाती है तो फैसले कमजोर हो जाते हैं वाली बात हो जाती है या फैसले हो ही नहीं पाते हैं सोचते ही रह जाते हैं. So I think yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, now coming to the writing part, there were two questions, the graph and the essay, right? So, like, let's talk about the graph first. You got a graph or a picture?
I got a graph. It was a comparison based on number of how many households have electrical goods, and it was a comparison between 2000 and 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And they were given uh, the names of electrical goods like radios, TVs, washing machines, etc.
Okay. Did you use any template that this is what you write introduction, then overall, then trend comparison highlights, and then
Yes,
the
yes.
summary of it? Yeah.
Because I had gone through the playlist that you told
Mm-hmm.
us to see. I knew the kind of words to use, like trends, increasing, decreasing, significant rise, or significantly dropped low. These words I used, and I combined like I first gave an introduction, then uh, the basic question that they are asking for, like the main features and comparison, and then in like almost like in bullet points, I wrote my answer.
So you remember how many words you wrote, or they were
I
in
wrote
the chapter?
151 words in the first task because
Very
I
good.
could not think of more.
No, that's fine. That's fine. And you can always expand it by giving a little extra detail. But yes, 151 is like you did cross the threshold. You
Hmm.
need to write 150 words. And then came the task two. So in that also you were able to, you wrote something like 300 words it seems there, right?
Almost 300 words. First, I could not even manage to complete the criteria of 250 words, but then as I was thinking and building the whole body, I
Hmm.
like towards the end of it, I could complete it and I had even more to write. But you have to
Okay.
make sure that you are present from the beginning of your time. Like, don't start
Okay. So before
till
writing,
you're
did
there.
you do any planning? Did you plan what you want to write, or you straight away jumped into writing?
No, no, the
What was the
question was
question, by the way?
Yeah, the
You know,
question was on advantages and disadvantages, and the question was whether you think that working or traveling before entering university is a good idea or something along these lines.
okay,
So,
okay, okay. Yeah. So
so
straight away
because I
after
could not
school, one should
straight
not.
away,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
so I have completed it, please.
Okay, okay, okay. Please go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
So I was saying that because I could not think of any disadvantages straight away, and I only had advantages, and because I could relate to it, I had a few examples from friends who were working before entering college, and because I had recently traveled, I had reasons for why traveling is good, and so I just expanded on that. First, it was first I gave the like first I gave that yes, uh, I think it has advantages, and then expanded on the advantages by uh, dividing it into work and travel, and then the examples.
Okay. So question straight away asks that you are supposed to give advantages as well as disadvantages, and
Yes.
finally your opinion.
Yes.
That's standard structure of an IELTS essay. So, okay. So you did talk about advantages, disadvantages, and then you gave your um, articulation,
No, they did
your
not
point of
ask
view on
for
it.
disadvantages. It was a
Mhm.
question that what do you think? I mean, it was not disadvantages or advantages. It is if you are like choose one and then expand on that.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. So you did choose one and then you talked about
Mm-hmm.
only the advantages of it. Do you think means it's actually an open ground? You can think about both and give your opinion, or you can defend one aspect of it and tell that this is what I think. So, yeah. Okay. And you were able to finish it in time. You were able to check your answers also.
Yes, yes. I had at least 5 minutes to check my like both the parts I could check. And you can
Okay.
change like if you are in one section, like if you are completing your writing part, then you can change within the questions. You can see your previous like task one and task
Hmm.
two. You can check and see your
So you
answers
can jump between the two
between the
after
two
finishing.
sections only. Like if it's reading, you can access all your reading answers, and if it's
Mm.
listening, you can access your listening answers, and if it's writing, you can access your task one and task two answers.
Yes. Yes. Great. Okay. And then the last section was your speaking, about which you were a little worried initially,
Hmm.
but you
That
said
was
that
the
it
only
went
part
well.
I was worried about. It went better than my expectations, so that's why I'm saying that it went well.
Okay. So, was there any question which you could not answer, or which you could not some details or some thoughts about it, or the questions were all very general?
Questions are very general, but when you have to expand, you should take a moment to think about what you're going to say because I uh, had long pauses in between and like while answering the task two, I
Mm-hmm.
had some long pauses and English थोड़ी सी खराब हो जाती है उसके चक्कर में that
Mm-hmm.
when you're taking a long pause, you're thinking that I need to complete this sentence and you're also
Mm-hmm.
looking for content. Just take a
Mm-hmm.
moment before answering. Don't be nervous.
Right. Yes. थोड़ा बहुत breathing techniques, थोड़ा बहुत
Hmm.
presence, mental, वो जो चीजें होती हैं, meditation. I think those things really can help because otherwise our thoughts overlap. हम एक थॉट के बारे में बोल रहे होते हैं और दूसरी थॉट बोल रही होती है, अरे पहले मुझे बोल दो. So it becomes little tussle between two thoughts that are running in our mind. I think that becomes a challenge. And to a great extent, I think some simple techniques that we use, हमारी जो home remedies हैं, stay present, don't rush, speak one thing at a time, build upon one idea completely before you move on to the next one. I think those basic things are uh, the fundamental or the foundation of good speaking. And I think speaking for 4 5 days before the test is important, that you get into that groove of speaking. Otherwise, however good we are at English, if we don't speak it on a daily basis, we may fumble there because our mind would say that, oh, you're doing something out of the blue, which you are not very confident. So yeah, I think that's what it is. But you did well. I think, yeah, last couple of days we were speaking and anything else which the participant should take care of?
I
Was it
think
very difficult? Was it easy?
whatever sir is teaching, just practice that. Just follow what he's saying, and you will be prepared enough. And your own satisfaction matters. Once you're satisfied with the answers that you're given, then you have nothing to worry about. So just follow whatever sir is saying. If you're not following him, then you will have things to stress over.
Yeah, it's a simple test and it does require some practice, I think. And as I always say, IELTS is not a test of English. IELTS is a test of how well you know the IELTS test. So if you get yourself acquainted well with the structure, the format, it becomes very easy. So even if you do not come from a very great English speaking background, you can score very good marks if you understand what this test is all about and give your evidence of learning and understanding the criteria, especially in the writing and the speaking sections. Reading, listening is more a function of practice, so you have to have good reading and listening skills and certain techniques that we learn. But writing and speaking is more a test of following the IELTS criteria, fulfilling it, and just uh, crossing that threshold. Like, for example, 250 words means 250 words. You can write 260, but it should not be 249. So, those things are very, very critical. Did you make any long sentences and short sentences in writing? Like when they say grammar, in grammar, you are supposed to write some long sentences. I mean, they say complex and compound sentences and simple sentences. So sometimes you have to combine two thoughts, like starting with a sentence with a though or although, or with while it is advisable to, while some people say that one should straight away join a job, others prefer or others go with the idea of traveling and exploring the world. So, you are using a while structure where you're combining two opposite thoughts in one sentence.
I think I wrote short sentences in the task one and in the task two because I had to expand. I wrote long sentences only.
Okay.
But the main thing that I was focusing on was the grammar and spellings, and I think they were all right. So I was not worried in the end.
Okay. Okay. Great. So, any other questions you have, Dave and Akshay? If you want to ask any questions from Vrinda, you're most welcome to ask.
Okay,
Dave, I can't see you. Where are you? You are a hidden Dave? Yeah. Are you?
okay, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Now I can see you.
Okay,
Yes. So you have any questions, anything that you want to ask?
no, sir.
Okay. Okay. So that is fine. Thank you so much, Vrinda.